This episode is going to involve talk of corpses, suicide, and a lot of other disturbing things. Listener discretion advised, and be prepared.
Hello and welcome back to My ADHD Adventures. My name is Adrian, and this is my fellow co-host, Dylan.
You messed it up once again.
How did I mess it up? How did I possibly mess it up?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ADHD Adventures.
It's my ADHD Adventures! The fuck you mean?
Welcome back to My ADHD Adventures, yeah.
Is that not what I did?
You forget the everybody. You said hello and welcome.
I'm gonna die. All right, from the top, ladies, let's run it back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to My ADHD Adventures. My name is Adrian, and this is my co-host, Dylan.
Close enough. Hello, everybody.
I'm gonna... All right.
How are you?
Yeah, I could be better today, but we're here. We're guess queer and we're not full of beer. I haven't had access to alcohol yet today.
I don't have my alcohol today. It's gonna be a fun episode. But hey, I heard the roads are beautiful.
Get out.
Probably in the current time this episode comes out, the roads will be beautiful. But
leave now. For those of you who don't know, it's currently January 27th, and at the time of this recording, the roads are absolutely abysmal. I'm lucky I got to the studio today. If you've ever been on a speed bump before, if you've driven over a speed bump, most of the roads have like a bunch of little tiny little bitch drifts on the road like that, except it's only on one half of your car. So your right side of your car is just bumping up and down the entire way you're driving down the road. And on top of all that, some of the roads are just complete ice patches. I almost ran a stop sign because the road was just an ice cube, and I basically slid halfway into the intersection. Luckily, this was right next to my house, and there was no one on the road, so I didn't hurt anyone. But still, not good out there on the roads in, the end of January. So I love how you had nothing to add to that conversation.
For now, I would definitely be careful out there, even if the roads are better or not.
Always take the roads 10 under the speed limit. Well, that's what I'm doing right now because it's like snowy and it's literally a 1-lane road getting to your house.
You're not driving like a grandpa, you're not driving safe enough.
You're not driving like a grandpa, you're driving like someone else. That someone better be 7 beers deep if you know you know.
Driving in my truck!
Alexa, this is so sad. Order me 7 beers.
Okay, I've added 7 beers to your shopping cart.
But no, welcome back to the podcast. I've been having Dylan do the intros lately, because why not?
Hi, I'm actually Dylan. I lied to you at the beginning.
Yeah, he lied, and my name's John.
Hi, John.
Hello.
I didn't know we had another co-host on today. Hello, John. No, you wanted to do this bit. Sit up, stop laughing, and do it. Commit to the bit, my man.
I can't.
Come on, John, you got this. Fucking chop, John.
It's John.
It's John? All right, John.
Hello.
John is French, everyone.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever done.
This is so fucking stupid. Yeah. No, gotta cover my ass here. So anyways, Adrian, what are we up to today?
Today we wanted to talk about something wondrous, but also not really.
Okay.
This is the episode where we finally talk about the ACE project.
Wow. Don't you do the Zagan thing, how dare you? Ominous foreshadowing noises.
So let's talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Your introduction to D&D, your introduction to the group, the ACE project.
Oh yeah, that was my introduction to the group.
Yes, indeed. But I guess we should inform the listeners of its origin.
Because it didn't start out in college. It started out before then.
Way before I even knew you.
So you'll have to take that for yourself. You've told me a little bit. I couldn't tell the story myself. I wasn't there. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
I went to Cedar Point
Yes, you did.
with my little brother, Jackson. Shout out to Jackson. Hi, dude. And my cousin, along with my birth mom as well. I had already gone once before with her. I'm not a huge fan of roller coasters. I more so enjoy like the attractions rather than roller coasters personally. I like exploring a lot more. So I was bored, to say the least. And I had done this stuff before with my little brother and my cousin. And we decided to play a game. I just randomly prompted them with, you're walking around an abandoned fairground. And we just played. We did like imagination, we went to like one section of Cedar Point where it was like there was a mine or something, and so I brought in like the caves and the caverns. So that was the introduction to like a lengthy type game.
Yeah.
That was the introduction of Thomas Myers, his first ever appearance as just some random guy that was a stalker in this fairgrounds.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
This story is so much more impressive when you learn that you have aphantasia.
I know, right?
Like your ass is out here making this whole world at like Cedar Point, and this whole time your mind is just completely black.
Yeah.
There's just the void in there.
For the listeners, I learned that I have aphantasia recently, which makes it even more interesting when I talk about anything D&D related.
Anything creative in general involves like visuals and shit. How are you doing this?
I don't know. I don't see any of it ever, but it's like a blueprint kind of, I look around and I'm like take this room for example, right? I could look around and it's like, let's make this an old room, spiderweb there, spiderweb, broken door scratches, old rusted kind of, the desk covered in ash or something, and I'm like, I can kind of imagine what that would be like, but
Yeah.
you can't close my eyes and see that.
That's still impressive, man. But anyways, you designed a whole world, but not able to see a thing at Cedar Point. The introduction of Thomas Myers.
At least introduction of him with a name. I gave him an actual name. Because even before Cedar Point, I was staying over with Jackson, and we had always played these fantasy games, right? We were into Harry Potter, we were into Power Rangers, we were into all that kind of stuff, Bakugan, whatever. And so I would take like fan characters or whatever, I would make like OCs or something for us to play, like, because when you're younger, you play like these imagination games where you like pretend and stuff.
Yeah.
Which you can still do as an adult, by the way. It just changes. Okay. Once you get older, it's called roleplay.
Okay, fair enough, man.
That's a horrible joke. Cut that out. Editor, cut that out. Editor, cut that out.
Editor, keep it in.
No!
I love mass hallucination with the math rocks.
Lucy, if you are editing this episode like you're editing the other two, cut that out. Please, for the love of God, cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
No, Lucy, keep it in.
No.
Keep it in.
You bet your ass I'm keeping it in. We all know that it's true, and there's nothing wrong with that. So stop making a big deal out of it, you big baby.
But...
Please. Pretty please. There, now you have to keep it in because I said funny shit.
Damn it.
Ha ha! Checkmate.
Dylan, your funny shit made no difference. I was gonna keep it in either way.
So the ACE project began, I'm not joking, in just my little brother's bedroom, because we were staying the night with each other. That's where it began. And because I have aphantasia, this is actually a really easy setting to explain. I simply stated, you wake up in a void on a golden path. Simplest thing ever.
Well, technically the simplest thing ever is envisioning an apple, but you can...
Yeah,
continue.
I can't do that now, can I?
Editor, I know this is going to be a YouTube video. Pop up a spinning gif of an apple.
Sorry, Dylan. But I'm only the audio editor, not the video editor. And I doubt Adrian is gonna go through the trouble of adding more visuals to the podcast video. Here. I'll put in a spinny sound effect and leave it up to the viewers' imaginations.
It started as this black void with a golden path, and it would split into a fork, basically. So it became like this branching out thing. And everywhere you'd go, you'd see a new vision or a new memory. For example, one took you to a graveyard. Another took you to a wine cellar. And eventually you would get led to the only ending possible, which is meeting this man sitting in a chair, reading a newspaper before he turned to look at you. It would end right there. No explanation, no nothing. Then in Cedar Point, it was a new ending where you became the man. You were actually playing as him the entire time. Yes.
Interesting.
It was very, very different from what you guys expected.
Yeah, no, that would have been one hell of a trip.
And then we finally get to college, where I'm bringing this game to the forefront, meeting you.
Hello, I'm myself.
So, I unfortunately have to admit, I don't entirely remember the first game, as it's had so many iterations now.
I remember we stayed up until like 3 a.m. that night.
Yes, if you remember how the first one went and ended, please do explain.
Again, there's been so many versions we've done since we began. I don't even know if I can give the full story. The only thing I know for certain was in the original cut was the body pit and like the raining corpses.
Oh yeah, the Golden Waltz.
That is another through point. That beautiful song, which to this day is still on some of my playlists. Good song by I can never pronounce his name right. You gotta say it.
Rocknarden.
I was never gonna get that right, but yeah. Go check him out. He's got some good songs.
Very beautiful music. It's really ironic that he made that song for his like grandparents' wedding or something, and then I just turned it into this song for like this horrific scene.
Yeah, no. Apologies to Mr. Narden.
Apologies, Mr. Narden. I'm sorry.
We may have turned your beautiful song for your grandparents into a psychopath's like theme song.
Psycho's Lament.
Psycho's Lament, no! Not Psycho! No! Gotta put in the Zagan. Actually, no, Psycho was okay. He was pretty chill, all things considered.
Psycho was cool.
Psycho was cool. It's a shame I had to put a bullet in his head. What?
Oh.
I don't know the fucking meme from the one Guardians of the Galaxy thing where he's like, yeah, it's
I know what you're talking about.
What? No, all right. I know that.
Now hold on.
But we get to the official start. And this is why, by the way, when we've talked about like D&D in the past, this is why we said this wasn't like D&D, because it never started as D&D.
No, this was just a story, essentially.
This was like choose your own adventure is what I had called it, because you would just walk down a path and say like left or right originally, and you would get these certain memories unlocked, and there would be like just like this one note ending, but you'd have parts of the story you got and parts of the story you missed. Go on with your first experience.
The first experience, I had just met this whack job at college.
Hi.
Yeah, who likes apples for some reason. And he was like, hey, let me kidnap you on a Discord call for multiple hours on end and tell you a story.
The irony that the god of apples and the person who just loves apples so much can't see one spinning in his head is so sad.
Sorry, I had to, man.
The irony. The bitter irony.
I guide others to a treasure I cannot possess.
Really? That's so real. It's so real.
Dude, I'm not even like a big Marvel fan. I just got those fucking memes on speed dial. Perfectly balanced.
As all things should be.
Bro loves apples so much, but he cannot see one in his head. Poor little apple boy can only see apples in real life. He can't think of an apple.
But I think your game
Sorry.
was the fourth iteration.
It might have been.
Because I know I did one with only Murray and Dominic once. Dominic is the voice actor for Morris in Simulate. Shout out to Dominic. He's an awesome person. Got an amazing voice.
Nice to hear about you, Mr. Dominic.
I think you've met him before.
In person?
Oh no, he lives in Wales, I think.
What the fuck's a whale?
We're cutting that. We're cutting that. We're cutting that. We're cutting that. That is so
funny.
That is so
That's so good.
dumb. That is the dumbest shit
No,
ever.
that's beautiful. Perfect. Keep it. No editing. Just straight what we're doing. Just there's no cuts. One take.
Lucy, if you keep that, you got to keep me saying we're cutting it and Dylan arguing with me. Just so you know.
That's what we always do.
You two argue like an old married couple. See how ridiculous y'all sound when you're quote-unquote uncut?
We always argue. We always keep the argument in so we can keep it not cut.
So it's funny.
We're uncut, dude.
One circumcision joke later.
We're cutting that.
If I
And
want. Okay, yeah.
That was a horrible joke. Just talk about Ace.
Anyways, I'm asexual now. No, okay. We're
Lucy?
also. Am I? What? I don't think it's physically possible. I'm not like a brunette or anything.
She's not a brunette.
It's closer than my hair color is.
This is gonna hear that and kill you.
I'm like a
but go
pastel
on.
goth in comparison.
Technically, I am a natural brunette. I've just been dyeing my hair black since middle school because I look way better with darker hair. And Dylan, you would make a wonderful pastel goth.
Anyways, apologies, Lucy. Please do not kill me. You know where I live now. Please don't kill me.
You're right, Dylan. I do know where you live now.
Anyways, the Ace Project. Written by Adrian Mallory or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Anyways, the Ace Project.
Anyways,
the
5.
Speaking of 5, the Ace Project did not last until 5 a.m., but God, it felt like it.
I think it did.
No, it was 3. I swear it was 3 a.m. when we stopped doing
It lasted
the first one.
really fucking long, though.
So the one line that is always used in the Ace Project is you wake up on the bus. Because we used to wake up on the bus.
Ah, that was the introduction, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the introduction to, like, the real game, like when the story truly began.
I thought that was the case when I started out, even.
Oh yeah, when you started out, yes. But that was like the introduction to the third iteration, your iteration, and then the final cut and stuff.
Well, the only one I'm aware of is you wake up on the bus.
Yeah.
And then we proceeded to wake up on the bus. Do I talk with a British accent for the rest of this?
No.
Okay, thank God.
You don't need to.
Okay, so for context, because I think I've mentioned it a few times, we can finally actually give it context. I played a British man, a British psychology professor by the name of Dylan Wesley during the Ace Project, and every time we were doing stuff for that, I was Dylan Wesley. He's obviously British, as I mentioned, so I did a British accent anytime I portrayed him. So that was fun. I think you at one point commented on how good I was at sticking to character, which is a nice thing to say. But we had Murray playing Merla Moreno.
Merla Moreno.
Moreno.
believe.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's Moreno.
Something
I'd have
to that
to ask
effect.
her because I don't think I've ever pronounced her actual last name.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I believe she was some kind of
She was a morgue worker.
mortuary. something or other.
Mortuary.
Okay. Then we had Ken Jennings.
Yep.
Mr.
Kennedy.
Is it Kennedy Jennings?
Yes. Originally,
That's so weird.
he gave me Ken,
Yeah.
and that was originally just Ken Jennings. But when I made the book, I wrote Kennedy, and he's asked me to change it to Kenneth. So I might do that.
Yeah, because Kennedy Jennings kind of sounds weird.
True.
Well, Jennings Kennedy would be even worse. At least it kind of makes more sense because Kennedy is more of a last name in that situation. Anyways.
I just need to edit the book, but it's technically Kenneth.
Guys, Ken Jennings is the current host of Jeopardy, and his first name is Kenneth. Either Redding did that intentionally, or that is just an insane coincidence.
Was Ken, was he a music nut in game too, or what was his deal?
He was
Okay.
a musician. He was a local artist, I believe, just trying to get by.
All right. And then we had Mormon's character. What the hell was Mormon had a character, right?
You can call his name
No,
now.
I have to call him Mormon. I gotta keep some kind of brand integrity.
Zachary Geis.
That's what it was. Okay, that's why he's Zachary. Okay.
Zachary Geis didn't actually have an occupation as far as I was aware in the game.
I knew the others had something going on for
But
him.
he had a skill because everybody had some type of attribute. Zachary, I believe, was a historian, if I remember correctly.
I believe you're right.
He was either a historian or a cartographer, one of those two, which kind of went hand in hand in my story. No, he chose cartographer because Mormon, because Mormon told me like he enjoyed making like fake maps when he was younger.
I see.
And like drawing that kind of stuff. So I was like, you could be a cartographer then for this game. And you could create maps of the layout that you've seen before so you know how to get anywhere. If you guys ever get to a maze, you can claim the dead ends.
Ironic that he was the one who said he could draw maps when you drew a map for like our final run through of the Ace Project.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a photo of that somewhere.
Oh yeah, that was so fun.
It was like right over there on that laptop. You took a picture of it on that laptop. That's crazy. But my skill as a psychology professor, I don't remember if it had like a better name, but it was basically just vibe check. And I could like vibe check people or objects because I think we somehow extended it to objects for some reason. I don't know why I could vibe check a door.
Originally, it was called analysis. And then you guys made the joke, can I vibe check this thing? And it turned into that the entire time.
Yeah, my ass would never have remembered it was called analysis. I always thought it was vibe check, man.
No, it was analysis originally because I was trying to actually make it a serious game, but then we turned it into this kind of half semi-serious, semi-joke thing.
I hear you say you wanted to be serious, but when we get into what actually happened during that game, your ass was not serious. No, sorry, Bob. But yeah, I basically could vibe check people and objects. I don't know why you let me vibe check object. But yeah, I had vibe check. Merla had, I think, something to do with being able to read dead bodies.
Merla was capable of telling when a body died and also how long it has been dead.
And Ken could play music.
He could also hear sounds. Like, he
could hear sounds. Wow, really? That's crazy.
He could hear music, and depending on like what type of music it was, he could know if it was trustworthy or not. But if he heard only static, it was unknown.
Okay, but anyways, we got off the bus after we obviously met each other and we're like, hey, we're stuck in this together. We better be besties now. Yay, power of friendship.
We'll use the power of friendship.
So we got off the bus and we went exploring. We're all hunky and dory. We're in like a little garden area. There's a tree. We go around the back of the tree. There's a guy hanging from it with a noose. He's like a corpse. This is a surprise tool that'll help us later. Winking face emoji.
Yeah.
Not even for what it's actually meant for, but like it comes back around into play in my descent into madness later. Because at the beginning I started out completely normal.
I forgot about this.
We have to bring it up. I played this game so many fucking times. I've played these games before, old man! Anyways, so we go look at the corpse tree and we're like, oh, that's a corpse tree guy. That's pretty sad. And then we hear rustling in the bushes and then we're like, oh shit, we're gonna die. There's like a monster or something in the woods. So we like, is what we did next what I think we did next?
What?
We covered ourselves in like corpse juice so it thought we were corpses and didn't attack us.
You covered yourself in the rot dripping from the corpse, yes.
Yeah.
There was like rot on the floor.
Essentially corpse juices. That is what rot is, essentially. It's corpse juice. It's the decaying remains of a person.
I'm realizing that the original Ace Project was very insensitive.
Yeah. We need to just like replay the content warning at like 2 times speed every time we just say anything. Just, content warning, content warning, content warning. What's worse is that I played into the insensitive it with my descent to madness because you know what's happening.
You did shit.
I prolonged this shit.
I just was trying to tell the story that was dark and gritty, and then you were like, let me taste it.
You what?
We'll get into that. Don't you worry. Audio listeners, love you to death. Disclaimer. Dylan, the host of this podcast, does not have any of the same views as the character in the Ace Project named Dylan Wesley. While names and descriptions of characters' appearances might appear similar, those two characters have no relation. Dylan, the man speaking to you right now, does not wish to taste a corpse. We're gonna get into it later, I promise, but I need to make this clear now. I am a separate person from my character.
I love that.
It's my fault. I named him after myself because I had no originality in the beginning and I'm still bad with names. Anyways, so we hide from this creature walking through the forest who like sniffs at us and determines we're dead because we smell like dead people, so it doesn't attack us. And then we go back to the bus. And then I'm gonna jump ahead a bit because I don't remember where we found him, but we meet a skull named Phil. Remember when I said that this first game, how you said it was serious, and I'm saying, yeah, right, buddy? Introducing my favorite character of all time, maybe. Probably not, but like it's in the top
You named
ranks.
him. I just want to let that be known. I did not name this thing Phil.
I named this thing Phil, and he was basically the voice in our heads. He was the DM telling us what to do, and I was like, oh wow, thanks, Phil.
And it just became a bit.
And this is one of the best bits that I think I've ever had because it's the most funny and unfunniest thing I've ever done.
It was so dumb, and I went with it because I made a literal skull eventually called Phil.
Oh, God. Phil was a man, a hell of a man. A real man, if you know what I mean. Anyways, we had Adrian in the back of our skulls as Phil. I was calling him Phil the whole time, being like, oh, hey, what's up, Phil? Thanks for the tip. And then we kept going. We found the paths eventually, and I think we split up. And at that point, you took us into different Discord channels and spent like 20 minutes with each of us talking about different paths, shit, and like memories we'd find along the way. And then eventually, I think we all ended up in front of a mansion. And we go into the mansion, because obviously that's what you do in a spooky horror game when it's dark and foggy outside. You go into the mansion. I'm gonna be so real with you, I don't even know if Hank existed in the first run.
He did, but not as an important character.
No, that's fair. Half the time I don't know if he really is. I mean, he's definitely an important character to the story at one point.
In the first game, he saved you from the weird... No, he didn't actually, because you guys...
Corpse juice?
Yeah, you covered yourself in the scent of the dead, so it wouldn't sense you.
To continue saying the phrase corpse juice is insensitive, I'm going to call it rot.
Yeah.
Because going forward, the rot's going to be a big play in how things go down. I think you were the person to patent rot,
Yes.
at least in our D&D overarching bullshit.
Yeah.
But I definitely...
I regret it. So
I
heavily.
played fast and loose with those terms in my own works. So we go into the mansion. I don't know if we had a banquet with Thomas that first time.
You did not.
So
the first game, actually, this is the part I do remember. was
Okay,
the mansion.
I'm glad you remember this part. I've been saying way too much insensitive shit. We're gonna get banned from every country. Insert that clip of Chuckles being like, I wanted in every country!
You enter the manor, and there was 8 paintings, the 8 wives. Polygamy. The guy that lived there was polygamous.
Thomas.
Yes, Thomas. And as you enter, you find out that there's a table set in the center of it. This giant ballroom. And there are 8 dolls sitting there. And these dolls come to life and chase you through the maze. So you have to try to escape, which you successfully do eventually. As for how it ends, that's what I don't remember, because it wasn't a happy ending, this one.
No, I think this is again where the corpse rain came from, and like the mountain of corpses outside. We're off the balcony. You watched like corpses going, and like the golden waltz was going, and Thomas was going, and I don't remember how it ends either. I don't think we killed Thomas.
No.
I know at one point that was a thing we did, but I don't think this first time we killed him.
Thomas won in this one.
I could not tell you
guys
how
got
this
like a
one
bad
ends.
ending because of a very specific reason. I think you managed to escape, but I don't think Thomas was ever dealt with.
No. Was that the end of the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, because it ended at like 3 a.m. I think we all said our goodbyes and went to sleep to get ready for shit to do the next day. Still one of my fondest memories doing that, although I can barely remember doing it anymore.
Very long ago. Like 4 years.
No, I mean, it's coming up on 4, but it's 3.5 basically right now. Because the fall of 22, so
Yeah.
we're getting close to 4 years.
But then,
as all good artists do, there were rewrites.
yep, and new players.
I thought we played it at least... Oh, yeah, we're talking about that one. I jumped the gun a little bit. No, that's on me. There were new players, well, a new player at the time.
We had a friend, or Dylan, you introduced me to him, actually.
I did introduce you to him because he was in my same major at college, and he seemed like a pretty chill guy. And I think I brought up the stuff we were doing, and he was like, "Wow, that sounds fun. I'd like to participate." So I introduced you to him.
Tyler. Tyler was in your major. He went
Yes.
to Owens with us. I think he was older as well.
He definitely was. I don't know how old he was, but he had to have been.
Because he was able to drink already before, like,
Yeah.
we were 18 still.
Yeah, we were 18. Well, you might have been.
I was either, like, I was
We
18,
were-
19, whatever.
We were
probably
like
19.
baby adults. It's fine. Tyler was cool. He was a swell guy. I introduced him to Adrian. So everyone got in contact, and then he joined up with the Discord server. And then we hosted, I don't know if we jumped right into the Ace project with him, or we did like the other thing, because I know we did another thing with him, which was like a different adventure. Where
We did the other one first. The other one was first because he wanted to play a killer in the party. And so I gave him this ability to
That's
be
what
like
it
a
was.
villain.
Ironic that you gave him the ability to be a villain after everything we're going to talk about.
Yeah. I know, right? It's such a character shift.
No kidding. So his character,
Joshua Turnings.
I'm gonna call him Tyler though. I know I usually call people by their like characters' names, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like calling him Josh right now.
But he played a character named Joshua Turnings.
He did play a character named Josh. He joined up with the crew. I don't remember if in this run specifically you like. I don't remember if you leaned in more to the Phil shit or you like pulled the accelerator back and you're like, no, Phil's not canon. Because I know by the time we got to the one with Elijah, he wasn't canon.
I don't think he was canonized as like a physical skull.
Well, like the concept of Phil, like you played along with that idea.
I think I didn't just because it was Tyler's first game.
Probably, yeah.
And if I did, I changed it. Like I made it so it was actually more of a serious concept.
Yeah.
Because in the book, even Phil is mentioned, but he's more of a serious thing.
Real quick question. I know we're talking about Tyler and everything. When did Perry show up?
Perry showed up in like your first session.
Ah. Do we want to bring up Perry or do we want to circle back around to it for Tyler's thing? And we can bring
We'll
it up?
circle back around.
All
to
right.
it.
But basically the same thing happened again with Tyler. We played through the game normally. Because again, I don't think I went into psychosis at that point. I think I was still playing normally.
No, you started eating it.
Oh,
You started eating it
I'm-
after first session.
Hell no, man. What the fuck?
I'm glad you
That's not a
called
joke.
that out. Because I forgot when it started.
I took away your ability to do it in like the most recent playthroughs
Yeah, no, for good measure.
for a
Yeah,
good reason.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, because we've been dancing around the issue the whole time, Dylan Wesley, just so I could give him a character trait, he was an alcoholic to begin with. I know, funny, haha, underage person being like, oh, my British character is an alcoholic, haha, so funny.
Love how you had to do your best Carl Weezer impression to tell us that, Dylan.
So obviously that was a whole thing I had to combat with, because we had like, at one point there was like the sin thing,
Yes.
which we don't need to get into, but basically...
wasn't really ever important in the story, actually.
No.
It never had anything to do with the story.
No, but for a while there, I would always pick like some random like addiction or something to give my D&D characters when we were doing this homebrew
Yeah,
shit.
Mike had gambling, Dylan had alcohol.
Yeah. I could go through my list and just start looking at what they were, but I don't need to right now. But the point of the matter is, Dylan was an alcoholic. So we had a flask on him, and I don't know what made me decide to do this, but somehow I got my flask full of rot. Either that or there was a flask full of rot already. I think that's what it was. I found it in a locker somewhere, and I drank it because it's a flask full of some liquid. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a chug that thing. And it was rot. And I don't know why I continued to do it.
This wasn't corpse juice rot, by the way.
There's a different rot?
Yes, this was like rotted food type rot.
Oh!
When I talked about the flask, I'm shocked you never put that. Did you think this whole time that it was?
I always thought it was corpse juice, because, like, the only time we talk about rot is corpse juice.
Okay. I should probably give context as
Yes,
to what I
please
described.
explain,
What I described rot as.
Because I'm learning things today I didn't know about.
I should probably describe what I thought rot as. I didn't
Yes.
think of it as like corpse juice.
Explain
To
your
me,
philosophy.
I described what rot was, and it was coming from the corpse, and it was coming from like other areas too, like food. I described it as this black tar-like liquid substance. It wasn't really like the bile or stuff that comes from a corpse. It was just this black inky tar liquid that was
I always
existent.
I always assumed that was just because it had, like, boiled down and, like, rotted away into, like, a viscous liquid of some kind with none of, like, the actual matter in there. I mean, I guess I can understand how food can do it, but, like, a flask would be full of liquid. I don't know what kind of liquid would rot the same way, you know?
I just did it for flavor.
What a horrible sentence to say about something I drank. All right. Yeah, I just made it corpse juice for flavor. Anyways, I drank the flask full of apparently, like, food-grade rotten material.
It was that same black tar substance, which I lumped in with food as well.
So this whole time, the first thing I drank was, like, food, and then everything else was just corpses. So I consciously chose to start drinking people.
Yeah.
I wasn't forced upon it by, like, just the unluckiness of drinking a random flask.
Yeah.
In my defense, you're literally lumping in food and, like, guts and organs into, like, the same category
It's
of decay.
because, decay.
You could have maybe specified that it was a different thing.
I probably should have in the first campaign.
You see why I did what I did
I
now,
probably
maybe
should've.
a little bit. Because after that point, I know I basically gained a second addiction to rot for a while there.
Oh.
I should say Dylan Wesley, again, not the same person. Disclaimer. God, we're never going to be able to air this episode in Russia.
Grandma, I'm so sorry if you're listening to this episode.
Also, my grandmother, I also apologize.
This is a very dark episode, grandmother. I'm so sorry.
But anyways, after I drank the corpse juice...
No! God, please, no! No!
No, okay, no, but seriously, no. Apparently, this run was when I started my whole rot addiction. That's fun to learn.
It was pretty tame at first.
At first,
And
it was
then you
tame.
started going wild, like, oh, this hanging corpse. Let me just hold out my little flask here, drip on into there, yeah.
Yeah, so remember the hanging tree man that I said was a surprise tool that'll help us later? That wasn't a reference to him saving our asses from a forest monster by, you know, camouflaging in with the dead. No, I like, collected up a bottle of his bodily rot fluids and, like, I drank that shit. How is Dylan Wesley never once considered to be a villain? Seriously, like, with that non-canon sin shit with his fucking
He really
cannibalism?
should have. He really should have been. He should have. You know, maybe it's good that he died in the end.
Maybe it's good we never finished another playthrough. But at the same time, by the time we were doing another run, I like changed up and I wasn't as addicted, mostly because you probably told me to stop.
Yeah, I think I told you to stop with it.
But it was fine. I mean, it was fun for like the one.
Because I
run
wanted to
thing
make
and
it more of a
more
serious
so.
campaign.
Yeah,
like,
but
bringing an actual overarching story and shit. But then the original ones were not that serious.
yeah. So we get through most of the game until we get back to the mansion, and that's where things change.
Yes, because Tyler made a choice that, you know, as a DM, you don't usually see choices. Or like,
Well, no, as a DM, you usually do see choices, but the way we were playing these games, the way you were running them, choice usually wasn't much of a thought, like choosing outside of what options we were handed. You didn't expect for someone to think outside the box.
Yeah. Because I was also, this wasn't like D&D, this was very narrative.
This
So
is homebrew in the loosest sense of the term.
Yes, there was like A, B. You choose like A or you choose B. There was no C to choose. It was like it was very this or that.
It's very linear.
Especially with the party that I was playing with, as most of you guys were chaotic neutral than anything else.
So, reining us in was a good idea.
Yeah.
You approach a fork in the path, you either A, go this way, or B, go that way. Walking backwards wasn't an option, walking through the middle wasn't an option, cartwheeling around wasn't an option, pretty linear left or right.
It was difficult because of the party that was also involved. I didn't expect much. I'm trying to figure out a word to describe it.
Nuance?
Yeah, nuance, but also like, I guess in a way that kind of sounds harsh, I expected it to kind of be ignored. The scenery with the dolls, I expected to be ignored.
Yeah.
I didn't expect anyone to put it together. It never was before.
No, I don't know if it was a thing that could have been put together before Tyler did it. I couldn't tell you. I'm not in your head. I don't know if you had that idea.
The dolls are the wives. The bodies of the 8 wives turned corrupted and such that have been through a lot of trauma. There were loose hints to the dolls being the wives. Like, they wore the same dress, they wore the same masks, but they did not look human.
Yeah, you had like paintings of the wives outside the hallway before you go to the ballroom, and then there was 8 dolls in the ballroom.
And each painting did have a flower with it. It had a flower setting upon the painting. I think what you guys did originally was you put the flowers on the paintings or something and then just left and were like, oh, hey, look, corpses, run.
Probably something to that effect, yeah.
But Tyler held on to them because he was like, there's already flowers here. Why should I put them on the paintings and shit? And I was like, oh, okay, I guess you're going to hold on to flowers. I don't know how useful they're going to be. And then he goes in, and I'm describing the scene, and he sets each flower in front of its specific doll. And I'm extremely confused as a DM because I didn't expect anyone to do that kind of thing. So I have to really quickly workshop something, improv it, make it emotional because it was an act of care. That was something that unfortunately none of you guys had shown yet.
None of us had given any modicum of respect for the dead. Dylan Wesley included, obviously, number one.
Rot! Nom, 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 nom.
Again, disclaimer. Dylan Wesley and Dylan, the host of this podcast, do not share ideologies. I am not a cannibal. Thank you for your time.
So, as he did this, though, the dolls cracked, revealing the bodies of the wives. Within, their souls trapped, finally freeing, and one of them in particular, giving him a hug. Lila. Oh, I'm a dumbass. The other wife, Lily.
There we go.
They're familiar names, that's why. But I did use her as inspiration for Lila.
Okay, I was gonna say, because, you just said the same name twice, and I was like...
Lila was indeed inspired from Lily. I will not deny that, but they were not the same person.
Okay, because I know later down the line you sometimes put, different people as different people, and, it's the same person underneath, but anyways.
If you want to talk about the quantum theory bullshit where every character is some copy of something, like how Thomas Myers was the one guy, then yes, Lila would be Lily.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yes.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, quantum bullshit theory states that any NPC we ever make has to, for some reason, be tied back to another NPC we've made. At least in this regard, in the homebrew stuff.
Dude, the universe gets the ACE project, the AU, the AC.
The
APU gets so.
The ACE project universe is tied into so much bullshit in the early days when we were doing homebrew, and it still somehow gets front ported to other shit. Because we keep connecting other shit to other shit, and that shit connects back to the ACE project.
It's a multiverse at this point.
Yeah,
it's not even just a universe.
Simulate's connected into both of them, my homebrew original campaign and the ACE project, I think at some point.
Canonically, Simulate is connected to ACE, but ACE is not canonically connected to Simulate. I want to make that clear.
I'm glad you're making that distinction. What's your stance on Simulate's more as dropping into my fucking campaign?
Not canon and simulate, at least.
I figured the last thing you want is Nigel Finnegan in your campaign. And your project, sorry.
I just see this guy in the suit like, hello.
Hello there.
Hello, I live in a laptop. I'm in need of housing. I hear you have a simulation.
Oh, that's so dumb. We've been recording for an hour now.
We're not even Elijah yet.
We're not even
in game 2.
We're not even in the book.
We're not even in game 2. But anyways, to make a long story short, basically the rest of the game plays out the same. But also we had a
No, it didn't.
Okay. Well,
you guys placed the flowers, you freed the spirit. She brought you to the docks.
That's where the clown is.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, picture this in your head. Adrian, you don't have to. I know you can't.
Sure.
Can we describe him? Are we allowed to describe Perry? So
Picture a body, right?
Picture a torso with a head.
Torso with a head, just a torso with a head.
In a wheelchair. I don't know if we want to even put him in a wheelchair. I don't know which is worse.
Picture a clown in a wheelchair.
We can't be laughing when we say this. So picture a clown.
We're getting canceled so fast with this episode.
We're not just banned in
getting...
Russia. We're banned in every fucking country.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you can tell we need content warnings for every single thing we bring up here. But
this is a bad idea. This was a horrible
Whose idea was it to talk about the Ace Project?
This was
we can talk about the Ace Project. We got like an hour in us. Yeah.
How did I describe him in the book? You know what? Let's look at that. How did I describe him in the book? Because the book was sensitive about it.
I know we're going ahead of things a little bit, but Adrian has transcribed some of the events from some of the runs of the Ace Project into a book. So we're looking up how he described this character, so we're not going to be insensitive at all. Hopefully. You know, any less or more than we have... Less insensitive than we have been in the past about everything else in this story so far. Because this character actually shows up in my first run, we just forgot to mention him because it's been like an hour and we're not even close to done with this.
A legless, armless bot. Actually, no, this is not sensitive at all.
Okay, picture a clown in a wheelchair.
As described in the book, a legless, armless body in a wheelchair. Its face had been painted with what seemed to be clown makeup. Its eyelids and nose were both missing, a smile stitched to his lips.
Yeah, so I'm gonna that moment of silence is left in there to just let you just breathe.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot to take in, but believe me when I say this is still one of my favorite characters for some reason. Because he's a clown and I like clowns. Clowns are funny.
Clowns are funny.
Just don't bring me a clown in like a dark alleyway. I will scream like a baby probably.
This character was not really made as a joke, but unfortunately became one just because of the clown attribute. Because in reality, he used to be like an actual person that just went insane from all of the bullshit going on in the world that he was in.
Also, one of Thomas's brothers like ate his limbs.
When the fuck did that happen?
The circus one. The circus freak brother. Because didn't you say they were related at one?
That was a different canon than the original. I'd changed that. That's not canon
Okay,
anymore.
well, then-
that is not canon anymore.
All right, then canonically, how did Harry lose his limbs?
Bomb.
I guess he was in the military.
Yeah.
That
Perry,
makes sense.
for context,
Yes, please, give us context. God.
Perry was originally, I forget what his actual name was because we've never mentioned it, but he was originally...
I think we mentioned it. Maybe Phineas, something like that?
It was, yeah, something like Phineas, but he was originally... He was a soldier that got wounded and a company offered to fix him.
In quotation marks.
And this company did not actually do that. They put him into this thing, because I don't want to spoil it for anyone listening yet, where he became Perry.
So Perry did, a clown shtick. He told jokes, off-color and tone jokes. We cannot repeat on the air. I don't care if this is YouTube. We're gonna get age restricted on this video. There's no shot this episode isn't age restricted.
There's no shot this isn't age restricted in the slightest. Oh my god.
So we're not gonna mention the jokes, or we're gonna get a community strike or whatever.
Season 2, episode 3, canceled. See who can get canceled first.
Try to get canceled challenge. Challenge level. Parry.
That's essentially what this is anymore.
We're getting over the worst of it, though, I think. The worst of it was in, like, the earlier runs of, specifically, the Clandestine Stigma, because back then,
That's
wasn't
what it was
called the
called,
Ace
yeah.
Project. I forgot this whole time. It didn't become the Ace Project until we got more games in it. For the longest time, it was called the Clandestine Stigma.
And also, I would like to take a moment and say, I would like to apologize for all of the insensitivity that this game had, as this was before when I didn't know the difference between romanticizing something and not. So I just did a lot of things for shock value, for like the horror of it, without actually giving it a real reason. Like, Perry originally never had a real reason to be the way he was. He was just a character I thought that would be scary and interesting. But eventually, I gave everything a reason for why it was the way it was.
Yeah, like, you stopped the corpse rain at one point.
Yeah.
Because, again, that's probably
It didn't truly make sense
No.
to have that effect. But also, another thing, I stopped the rot consumption because that didn't really make sense. There was no reason to that. That was just something you decided to do. I changed, like, the way I described certain things because another thing was, like, going into senseless detail about romanticizing stuff because I wanted to be more sensitive.
Yeah.
Context given, I'm writing this story as a book. I'm writing the Ace Project into a book, which we will talk about later.
Yeah. To begin with, you got to make that more palatable for a general audience.
And I don't want to make this anything like those horrible gore shock value books that everybody like all those gross ones that get way into the gory details just for shock value, because that's not real horror. That's hot take, I guess, because I know some people enjoy that stuff. That's not real horror. Real horror is it doesn't just like, oh, there's a corpse over there that's been torn apart in half or whatever. That's not horror. That's something unfortunate. Yeah,
I wouldn't say that the Ace Project is about like shock horror or anything. It's more like the psychological horror.
Yeah. That's what it's truly about when you get down to the nitty-gritty.
The zombie game is definitely psychological horror. No doubt about that. You've definitely got psychological horror pinned for that. But the Ace Project is more so psychological than shock value and anything else. Because the story is what actually matters. It's not about like the scariness of like, corpse rain or whatever the hell. We haven't even gotten to the ending of the first game, dude. We gotta like chop shit.
I know.
We have like 8 fucking games to cover.
I felt like I should mention that.
No, I know.
Still.
I'm glad that we're taking this time in between making insensitive remarks about a past thing we did to be like, yeah, no, looking back, it's a bad idea. And we're giving plenty of disclaimers saying that we no longer think that those things are okay.
Yeah.
Like, I will admit, I went too far.
I am actively working in the book to make sure that nothing is insensitive about it.
Well, first of all, we've had reruns since with new people that have helped us tone it down.
New people, new ways, new methods of things. And I gotta say, the most recent one, even though it was cut short, I think it was probably one of the best reruns we've ever had.
It probably was. I mean, again, we ran that after Zombie Memoir, so it wasn't going to hold a candle to Zombie Memoir.
Yeah.
But
nonetheless, it was better than the first
It's a good
run.
story that I love coming back to, you know?
And you had stated before that it was that run through, that one that we started, was so different from the original, it could be its own thing even. Or at least not its own thing, but...
Because you've definitely changed up how we do things along the way. But we need to cover the first official run-through of The Gauntlet.
The Gauntlet, yeah.
Well, we need to wrap up how Game 1 ends.
Game 1 ends, though, in Tyler successfully killing Thomas Myers.
Yes.
He's given the strength, but in doing so, he gets killed himself as well.
He gets transformed into a statue.
In the original game. In the original run-through, he did die.
Oh, yeah.
But he came back as like his soul or something.
I was gonna ask when we're gonna bring up like that thing where he was like a Norse demigod thing.
That was the next game, but that's not canon.
I was gonna say, because that was a whole thing that happened and he like fought some
A lot of the game from back then when we tried the multiple game method was not canon.
Yeah, but at least Tyler choosing to go off script got us to break away from just the singular game and try to branch out into something. And eventually, we landed on the island. Yeah, no.
Oh, God!
Disclaimer, we did this years before anything came out about Jeffrey Epstein.
This has nothing to do with politics. This came out years.
We are young adults. We don't get into politics. It's just an island in the middle of the water.
It was an island with a hotel. An island with just... Well, wait.
With all adults. There were no children on this island. Don't contradict me. I'm trying to separate the two. You know what? This is your fucking game. You write yourself out of the Epstein jokes. You figure this out. Why am I defending you? You started this.
You know Epstein Island is not the only fucking island in existence. You didn't have to make any comparison to it, and yet, of course, you went and did. And I am not surprised. We're over halfway through this train wreck of a video, and this is all pure insanity.
The game starts on an island with a hotel on it. An island with a hotel. And it's called the Grande Hotel. This island is like a resort more than anything, because it has the fairgrounds, a haunted house. Think like King's Island.
I've never been to King's Island.
I'd recommend King's Island if you're going to think an island for that.
I would think like Cedar Point, which just was like 2% of the attractions and stuff.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
comparative. And maybe Coney Island would be a better one. I've never been to Coney Island.
Yeah, Coney Island would probably be a better
Probably
one.
Coney Island.
Never been there either, but
It's basically like a tourist trap.
probably another better one. But this island was just a hotel with a fairgrounds, haunted house, docks, and a lighthouse. That lighthouse is going to be extremely important.
In a few runs from now.
Mm-hmm. This is unfortunately the game where we also learn Tyler passed.
It was?
It was pretty early on. He didn't make it. Well, I don't know if it was this game we were playing, but it was like around that time. Because he never made it to the second game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. In the book, that's why he's not in any further story, because he was never there. I didn't want to write his character doing something that I myself am not sure if he would actually do.
And also, I think it would be a massive disservice to write him out of the book entirely.
Yes. He's definitely important in the book.
He's important to the story. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
again, without his influence, we wouldn't have gotten where we are now.
Yes.
Sure,
100%.
it was that one decision that branched us off into where we are now. And, like, he didn't really... Apparently, he wasn't even there for game 2, much of it.
Because originally game 2 wasn't even the hotel. It was like the
That was probably like
church game, which is
yeah.
what he was on. The
Yeah.
hotel was like game 5 in that run through.
Yeah.
There was like 12 chapters.
Screw that. I don't want to play the original Gauntlet, man. That original Gauntlet sounds like ass.
There was so many chapters. We had a Walmart.
Okay, well, the Walmart was fun, though.
The Walmart was fun.
Of course, you, Adrian, the man with a weird Walmart obsession, would somehow, some way, include Walmart into your game sessions.
But, game 2, The Island, would you like to walk us through the general synopsis of what that first one was?
You guys got in a boat.
We got in a boat on Thomas Myers' island, that landmass, whatever
dock.
that was. The dock.
And the fog started rolling in. You guys crashed. I do remember that. However, originally, you never woke up in the hotel. You actually woke up on the rocks and explored up onto the island, where you saw that it was empty for the most part until you met some guy that was like, hey, welcome to the hotel. And he didn't have like a name really originally. He was just the owner.
Yeah.
So he welcomes you to the hotel. He's like, enjoy your stay. We'll get you a boat fixed up, whatever. And you guys stayed. Exactly. That's exactly what you did. But there was a rule. You had to be back in the hotel at 9 p.m.
Okay, I know why that rule's in place, like, in the most recent run-through, but why was that in place for this one? Because it's
Another
not the same
creature.
reason. Ah, okay. Another creature.
Different things, though, going on.
Okay.
But it was also because the owner had a deal with something to ensure that you guys wouldn't leave. And the hotel was similar to H.H. Holmes' Murder Palace, where it had the switching halls and like the twisting whatever. Because around that time, what inspired this game, actually, this campaign, was a game called The Devil in Me, which is also, for those of you who know the Dark Pictures anthology, a very choice-based game. I don't know what the reviews on that game was. I personally liked it. But it was a game that inspired this hotel section.
Was the original run the one where we went in like the basement and confronted some dude?
Yes, that was.
Okay, because I remember that was a thing. I don't remember anything about it, but I know we did it.
That was the original one.
Okay.
And I think he died shortly after confrontation.
Game 3, space game.
Yeah.
Space.
Space game.
Yeah, if you can explain the concept this first time around, and then we can basically just mention all the funny things that happened in the other runs.
Things going weird. Seems like
things are
people
weird.
dead are back are dead. People change. Whoa, awesome. Moon landing. Cabin on moon. Moon weird. Mood suddenly hotel cabin. What?
Okay, so let me explain what Adrian.
No, don't explain.
Okay.
We don't give them context because that is exactly how that game felt.
Fair
It was a
enough.
crack job of a game, and it
Fair
was really weird.
Game 4, Crystal Caverns, Crystal something or other.
Cultist on an island.
The reason I have a crystal necklace in the first place,
Yep, cultist on an island.
because Adrian gave me a crystal necklace in real life
Mhm.
because of this game.
The cultist on the island. Things were starting to get weird though, as you finally met someone interesting. We won't talk about that until we get to like the book stuff, because that's when it becomes truly
I
canon.
see. Yeah, we met an interesting character, to say the
Yes.
least.
And you also started conversating with another interesting character as you finally go to game 6.
You missed game 5.
Oh, game 5, the depths.
We go to Atlantis in this one.
Yeah, Atlantis. Awesome. Cool. Find the crown of the mermaid people.
Something like that. I think that's what it was, at least. It's been a while since we've done that one.
Game 6, hell.
Actually?
Supermarket hell.
Oh, yeah, we get to go to Walmart!
Yeah! Because you met something. And then game 7, the truth. Memory lane. That's all I can really say for that one.
And then that game ended.
Yes.
That concluded the Ace project.
And that is when I decided to start writing a book.
When did you decide you wanted to film like a...
Shortly after that as well.
Okay. So you began writing a book. How far between the original finishing of the Gauntlet and meeting Elijah and getting him started on his own Gauntlet, how much time was there in between those? Because I think
A couple years, probably.
I again introduced... It's only been a couple years since we started this, so at most it could have been a year, I would imagine.
It's been a while, because
It
the
has been
zombie
a
game
while.
lasted a whole year.
Yeah, but I also introduced you to Elijah because again he was someone in my major. Shout out to I guess animation majors being into D&D. Shout out to the guys I went to Owens with and the girls. The girls were pretty cool. The guys were pretty cool. Shout out to Garfield Man. I will not elaborate further. I don't have permission to use your name. But he also was the person, I don't remember if you know the Dodo from my games. Garfield Man, he created that character, and I asked for permission to use it in D&D, and well, you saw what happened when I used a bird in D&D. Anyways, but back to the actual matter at hand. You met Elijah. You guys became friends, which is good. It's always good when my friends become friends with my friends. And again, we introduced him to the server. I don't know if we did anything beforehand or you were immediately like, yeah, let's rerun the Ace project with him. Just him and you. I don't know if that was the plan originally or if
Just
that...
him and you is what I did, yeah.
I know that's what we did. I don't know if that was the plan the whole time. I don't know if you wanted to include other people or if it just so happened to luck out that I was there.
It was really just you and him.
Fair enough. So we did this one, and it was at this point where I was like, okay, I've played these games for like a year or so, year and a half, whatever. And I'm like, I want to switch it up a little bit. Let's give Dylan Wesley dementia. Let's have him start losing memories. And so now I think it would be an adequate time to pull out my character sheet and see what the hell I was on, because I know there was some whack ass shit.
While you do that also,
Yeah,
though,
you do
I
something
would like
to me.
to
Tom. I gotta
discuss
pull
the
this up.
book. The book is the true canon story of the Ace Project, as it was always a more linear story compared to D&D and such. I wanted to canonize the events of the original playthrough and also change up certain things to make it more interesting. And a lot of the reruns I based on the story. Even though I'm only literally at the second game in the actual book, I have the ideas for the other games. And I don't want to get too into detail about a lot of this stuff because I don't want to spoil it for people for if they ever do get interested in it and want to find it out themselves.
So I do have my Google document for my character sheet, which has 3 tabs on it. Because originally I used to take notes about my character in like a notepad app, and then I moved over to Google Docs. I transferred all my notes over. So the original run, I do this quirky thing where I put like the lifespan of the characters down. So Dylan Wesley's original lifespan was from September 24th, 2022 to October 19th, 2022. And I don't know if there's another time limit for that. Obviously, he's British. His sin was alcoholism. He was a psychology professor. His skill was socialite. I have down soul count 2, which I can only assume means I killed 2 people. I have his zodiac sign for some reason. I'll skip that. I have an achievement section.
Oh, no.
Because you gave us achievements back in the day.
Oh, no.
My achievements are old memories, bloodlust, and mending. And I think the Forgotten Memories tab is carried over from the next set of stuff, but I will go through ignoring that for now. So my notes. Friends, Perry and Phil. Not even the actual party. Perry and Phil.
Just Perry and Phil. Only them.
Following that, my next note down is call the DM Phil. And then I have a description of Phil's characteristics of like, what he's like as a character. And I don't feel like bringing up any of them, but I have under Phil's characteristics. Phil is It gets better. This is
When did this happen?
I don't know. I'm reading my notes. And he's high. So, like, I don't know what the fuck you were on, Adrian, but, like, get off of it. God.
Stop it. Get some help.
Take some Benadryl. Anyways, my items. In my first run, I had decayed body rope jerky, a microphone, a pile of bone fragments, Cyrus Whittabane's journal.
Oh, yeah, because Cyrus was a character.
Thomas Myers newspaper clippings, the Whisper game, a plastic lightsaber, an axe, a skull with a leaf symbol on it, a torch, and an Origin CD. And then in the rerun, I have a wallet with $320 in it. I got a beer bottle, pillow mints, a notebook, a drawing of the king trapped in the black mirror, a coin with the king on one side and a woman on the other. You can tell we got to the hotel in this one because the king is from the hotel.
Yeah.
A bottle of liquor, a toolbox, a map from a book, an orange crystal, which is the chill/guilt crystal, a nickel stolen from 3 corpses. How does that work? A display staff, a bike chain pole, and 3 case files. Case file number 3, Mariah Davidson file, in parentheses, dead. Case file number 23, John F. McDouglas file, in parentheses, insane. Case file number 24, Marcus Solomon, in parentheses, chest monster.
John F. McDouglas.
John F. McDouglas, baby!
Chicken!
Chicken damn!
John F.
Alright.
McDouglas is chicken. I remember that. That was so dumb.
Anyways, I will go through really quick my updated character profile, because this is when we actually had like the actual D&D-esque shit. So under socialite, I now has early onset dementia, and then I have a section called Forgotten Memories. And so this first replay that we did with Elijah, I will admit now I kind of phoned it in on that one, hence why I have dementia. I kind of just wanted to let Elijah have the spotlight and not do a whole lot, which probably led to some detriment in like the actual longevity of that. But I just wanted to let him be the main character, because let's be real here, I think to an extent Dylan Wesley was the main character a little bit.
You always were trying to do the most. You got the achievement lore hunter for a reason.
I was a lore hunter back in the day. I've kind of teetered off for some reason. But Forgotten Memories, The Color Brown, The Smell of Paris, and those are the only ones I had for the original run through. I'll just go through the rest now so we don't have to do this again later. And then in like the newest one we did, which was like the one you want to do solely to like redo book stuff, and then we stopped that one at like the Crystal Caverns. I have the taste of salt, the touch of a loved one, and then I got fears from things. I have a fear of dunk tanks, and I have a fear of space, which we will be able to explain further when we get to that final rerun, because if you know, you know. And then I have a second list called Dead Friends, which again is for like the most recent the most recent one we did. There's two people on this one. It's Eclipse and Silas. In parentheses, the other. I've got an artifact that I'm not going to bring up right now because that's not important. And I will mention the only thing that's probably important. In that last run through that we were doing, I was collecting as much money as I physically could. So I have 125 gold. I have 400 US dollars. I have 5 AB dollars. We don't need to get into what AB dollars are. And I have 6 Belgian coins. Unlike in real life where I only have 5 because, again, Adrian got me Belgian coins because of this game. Shout out to Adrian for getting us like physical props to go along with like the game we're playing. Like shout out to this man.
You claimed that Belgium wasn't a place.
Well, it's an ongoing bit between me and my cousin that Belgium isn't a real country. And I've carried that over to my D&D campaigns where Belgium is either a country that doesn't exist or it does, and I claim it at the beginning as a fictional country which I have invented, which we've never explored, by the way.
One
so
day
that's
we
fun.
will. One day we will.
Maybe. I guess I'll also mention the only other thing funny that I probably should mention is the milk jug from the most recent run through.
Spoiled milk.
Well, I checked the fridge in a memory or in like in an orphanage, and you were like, "Hey, spoiled milk jug," and I was like, "Okay, I'll take that." And I always wanted to have someone drink it just to see what happens, like an enemy.
I forgot about the memories. I loved that so much. That was
the memories in the most recent one were amazing.
That was the most fun
I loved
thing.
the work with that.
I got rid of like the golden path entirely. And you got memories.
But anyways, that's gonna be it for me scrolling through memory lane. We can talk about the Ace rerun that Elijah and I did now. So why don't you explain the differences in the first game? Given that we're going off of how Tyler did stuff, but he's not there to do the stuff. What changed? What stayed the same between iterations? Because this rerun was also when you were trying to like lock stuff in for the book.
I don't entirely remember it. Not as what changed, but I know there was definitely parts of it that did. I don't think there was the 8 wives anymore. I think there was only one.
No, there was only one, the main one that we'd been focusing on the whole time.
Delilah.
For story purposes, yes.
It changed
that's the one
from having 8 wives with polygamy to having the one wife.
I forget, did you recontextualize one of the wives into their child?
No, but I did give them a child.
Okay, because I know there was a child. I don't remember if was her name Lily too, or what was the name of the child?
It was Chloe.
Interesting how that happened.
But spelled with the strange E with like the line over
the tilde?
it. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, Chloe, or however the hell that's
Chloe,
pronounced.
it's still Chloe.
Okay, well, with the weird ear, it might be different. But Chloe was the daughter of Delilah and Thomas. I don't think we get to learn a lot about Chloe, do we?
Not really. She was pretty young when she died, and it was an accident.
We don't need to get into specifics. I just know they had a child, and that was an important plot of the story for at least the one bit.
To explain, though, she died from a flower that grew in the yard, a delphinium specifically, which those have huge meanings in my story.
Delphiniums do carry an important aspect of this story. They're also like one of your favorite flowers, I think. Just
Yes,
in general.
they are my favorite flower. That and cherry blossoms.
I've always been afraid to even go near a delphinium because I know it has like those dangerous chemical properties.
Yeah. Apparently,
they look
like
nice.
just like a petal from it, if ingested, can kill like a full-grown buck. I learned.
Yeah, so needless to say,
And if they're touched, it can cause rashes.
Yeah, pretty to look at. If I grew them at home, my ass would probably accidentally touch them and die. But anyways, first game runs pretty smoothly. We get to go see Perry again at like the little circus area they've got. I consider, I think at this point, trying to move into an apartment with Perry and just start like a little sitcom with the British man and the clown. And then Adrian's like, nah, we're not doing that. So I'm like really sad about that, but it's okay. Then we go on to the hotel. We work at the hotel this time.
Yeah.
We're not just...
You work in a dunk tank.
I don't know if I worked in the dunk tank the first rerun.
No, Elijah did it the first time.
And
you did it the next.
Yeah. I don't know if him... I don't know if him was in that first one with Elijah or not.
He was.
Oh, God.
He was.
No wonder we both have paranoia about him. We work at like the little carnival they've got going on at the hotel, little tourist trap stuff. We make some bank. We get off the island eventually. I still don't remember what the monsters were on the island because it wasn't the fun one. It was like some different shit.
I don't remember what it was for Elijah's game either.
Couldn't tell you. Anyways,
I don't think there really was one.
Probably
as much. I think it was more like paranoia.
Yeah.
No. There was something there. Mechanical. That was when there was the mechanical flesh things that were like the robots wearing skin.
Oh fuck.
Like the robotic centipede.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Game 3 is the space game. In the space game, obviously in game 1 we kill Thomas Myers.
Before you even go into that, let's discuss the ending of the hotel game to explain why you're in space suddenly.
Yeah, I always forget how we do that.
You manage to leave the island by a boat again, getting to the mainland finally. And on the mainland, you meet a truck person. In that one, yes, it was a truck driver.
Okay.
It's not going to be in the book. In the book, it's going to be more like the more recent rerun.
Oh, fair enough. I like that one.
You meet a truck driver who offers to pick you up off the road. And it turns out this truck driver is not who he claims to be, at least. And he blacks you guys out, erases some of your memories, and suddenly you're on a spaceship crew.
Yeah, I would like to say, as well as just replaying the same games over and over again, Adrian likes to erase the player's memories, like in-game for this
The
gauntlet.
characters, yeah.
Yeah, the characters lose their minds, memories often, which is probably another reason why I picked up to the dementia thing, because I'm like, okay, Dylan Wesley's played this game like 2 or 3 times already. This is like his 3rd or 4th time going in.
He's going to lose so many memories.
He actually has a memory condition now because of this, because of all the times you've been like, oh yeah, when you wake up, you don't remember any of this happening or whatever. So that is another reason why I have early onset dementia, or Dylan Wesley does. But we get to the space game. Thomas Myers is working on the spaceship. As I mentioned, he died in the first game. He's alive on the spaceship, and he's not evil.
Yep.
He's actually happily married to his wife, Delilah, who was also dead. We didn't meet her in the first game.
Yep.
She's alive again as well. We actually get to meet her in the flesh. She's alive. She's happy. She's doing all right. Maybe their child's even alive.
I think so.
I don't remember. Maybe.
In Elijah's game, I don't think they had a kid. I'm pretty sure that was a new thing I added.
Probably, yeah.
Into.
I wouldn't know, man. All these ones are like jamming together in my head.
The child was added in the book, and then was added in the most recent rerun.
But a lot of dead characters are back in the spaceship. I don't know if you brought in any characters from outside sources in that one.
I did. I brought in Gerald.
You brought in Gerald.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Fucking shit. You brought in Gerald to the one with goddamn... That's crazy.
Yeah, I brought in Gerald. Oh, wait, no, because that was Elijah's first time joining, so no.
Yeah, no, because my space game had Elijah from the beginning, so you couldn't have had Gerald in there.
I didn't have Gerald.
You love Gerald.
I don't think I had anybody in that one, but in the rerun, I did bring in Gerald.
We definitely have shit going down. So game 4 is the Crystal Caverns. I don't think anything's different with that one. I don't know if we did games 5, and I couldn't tell you what we did for games 5 through 8, man.
It was brought down to 7.
I think we cut out Walmart, probably.
Yeah, Walmart has been cut out for a long time. It was the C game 4, or no 5.
C game is 5.
Eric's game for 6, and then again the Truth for 7, which is just like a really short game.
But anyways, we get through that. Elijah presumably likes it. I mean, he's stuck around this long. And then, I want to say at the beginning of, like, 2025, you were like, okay, gang, I know it's been a hot minute, but I'd like to write my book. So if y'all could hop on Discord and like play the Ace Project again with me.
And it's still not done.
Nope, I don't think you've made a whole lot of progress since then.
I have.
I couldn't tell.
I've started a lot of the second game in the book. It's just I'm not making progress on the other 8 games.
I would imagine. Again, I barely remember what the fuck happens in like the latter half of shit. Mostly because we only got the Crystal Caverns. If we didn't get to the Crystal Caverns in this most recent run, I wouldn't know what the fuck the Crystal Caverns are.
Well, there wasn't a lot that happened in at least the
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, at least those ones there was never a lot.
Okay, so that's why I'm not remembering a whole lot.
In 6 there was a bit because it was a lot of lore things, but other than that, no, not really.
Did we actually want to talk about this most recent rerun first, or we want to talk about the Ace Project video series?
Well, I would like to talk about the book a little more.
Fair enough, but the book is based off of mainly the 2 most recent runs of the Gauntlet.
Yeah, but I also have ways that I plan on doing things. So in the book, there's going to be a lot of changes compared to the playthroughs. But if I do finish the book before I finish if I do finish the book, I clearly want to do a game based on the book.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would be down. Especially since it's probably going to be another year, so 2027, my year for real.
Oh, it's going to be so long. It's going to be so far from now. Game 2 is going well in the book so far. Game 3 is going to be a crack house to read.
Game 3, you either stick to the source material and go completely wild, introducing characters that have no right existing, or you have to tone it down and it just doesn't read or play well.
So here's the story canonically for Game 3, because this has been planned since like 2-3 years ago for the Game 3. This has never changed. It's that all the players are going to lose their memories. It's going to be like a restart. It's like a restart of the entire book, except for one, Zachary. He will be the only one with memories, and so it will be told from his perspective almost.
I'm glad Mormon's getting some screen time.
Yep. Unfortunately, this is also the chapter where Mormon kicks the bucket.
Oh, right, because in canon, not all of us survived till the end of the game.
Yes. In canon, not all of you survived, but also in canon, not all of you played till the end as well.
I'm at least one of the only people who's played to the end, I want to say.
You've always played till the end, but you died at like the very end of it.
Probably, yeah. Well, my character canonically doesn't survive.
Yeah. But Merla makes it as well. She will be making it to the very end.
Merla will survive. So are we therefore canonizing the video series to the book continuity? Is that how we're doing that?
The book has always been canonized to the video, but the video is not in itself canon anymore.
Yeah, if we were gonna make a video series that was canon, we'd have to probably start from scratch.
Yeah. That's why I haven't done episode 5 yet.
Yeah, I was gonna ask eventually when we're gonna tackle that, but I think it would just have to be a...
We're gonna have to rework the series.
I don't know if we could possibly pull that off again, because it was a lot of effort to do it the first time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we definitely could. It would just be a matter of having time.
Yeah, and we gotta actually get a script down, and I gotta learn how the fuck to memorize a script, because I know I was one of the main problems with that. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We will talk about soon. But the plan is Mormon has talked to me about how he wanted his character to die, like if he wanted his character to survive. Because originally, I had actually asked everyone separately, like, do you want your characters to survive till the end? Or, because I was trying to make it canon to the show. And Mormon said that he wanted to go insane, is the simplest way he put it. He said that he wanted Zach to have a mental breakdown and be pushed to the edge, to the point where he'd try killing the party.
Oh.
And would be forced to be killed instead.
That might be interesting to play through.
That is what's going to happen. It's already started happening in section 2. If you read the book, there are moments that show Zach having these memories and stuff, and he's like kind of losing his temper, losing his mind a little. But fun fact about the book, because I don't think you've read it yet.
I haven't read it in a while, yeah, probably at least a year.
Zach and Josh have connections now.
Ooh.
I've written a connection that Zach and Josh were actually friends way before they met Dolian. Way before they met Dolian, because they were friends. They were best buddies.
So that's why he goes crazy. Also, game 3 is a fucking nut house.
Oh yeah.
We did not talk about the first 2 games. So game 1, I would say is probably one of the better works that you've done. Obviously, Crystal Caverns kind of ended prematurely. I'm trying not to criticize you too harshly or anything, but like I'm off the cuff here. The Clandestine Stigma, the first game, it runs pretty well. The memories we did, like usual, they have some content we cannot speak of on air. They're very well done. There's actually a very simple story to follow. We did see the Tree Corpse Man again. Did not do anything nefarious to the Tree Corpse Man.
There's an actual reason for him being there now.
Yes.
He connects to the story.
It's not just some random shock horror thing.
It's not just some random guy.
So he has a purpose now. We actually get to do the banquet. I think we did the banquet in the rerun.
Elijah's a rerun.
Yeah.
That's where it was introduced.
But we did a banquet. Has it only been me who's done it, or has it been other people as well?
Only you.
Obviously.
I think this is why you stopped with the rot, because I did this.
Maybe.
This is part of it, definitely.
That might have been like the trigger for even Dylan Wesley to be like, oh, okay, that's probably not good. But what basically happened was Thomas Myers invited Dylan Wesley to a banquet, and they ate, they spoke, they drank, they did everything you do at a banquet. And then Thomas Myers like snapped his fingers, and then all of the food, the luxurious food, like turkeys and all this,
everything
delicious
glitched, and it was suddenly a pile of flesh.
Yeah. So I think during the rerun, I probably knew that going in, and I didn't eat anything.
Yeah, you tried to avoid
metagaming and all that good jazz. Again, this is also bringing into like the memories thing that I have like early onset dementia now. That's like a bit, because I definitely played into that a whole lot more for this last rerun. I don't know if you're adding that to the book at all.
Maybe.
If you're adding the monster from this most recent run into game 2.
We never talked about Onion even.
Onion!
We haven't talked about Onion, but like, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going.
But continuing on, what game was I on? 3?
We didn't get a chance to talk about game 1 and 2. We were talking about like the brief idea of game 3. Because I think we've jumped over to the newest run.
Yeah, but I was also talking about the book.
That's okay. You can continue talking about the book then.
But that's what game 3 is going to be. I'm going to try to mix it though with the game experience.
Okay.
So both the original and the game experience of the rerun mixed into this book idea, because I want to combine them both. So that includes the Commandant.
I'm gonna kill you. The fucking Commandant? Nah, thanks, buddy.
At least Erebus, or whatever its name was.
I mean, you can add the Commandant if you want, but like I don't know how well that would work in like a book
I'm probably
form.
just gonna do the Erebus or whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean it works good for like a fight, but like you might have to tone it back just a tiny bit because we did almost all die.
In the actual story, obviously, like fights aren't going to be like seen as that kind of thing, because I don't know how to really write action.
Neither do I.
I can write
You've seen my books.
I can write horror and you running from them.
Fair enough.
And like your interactions, but I don't really know how to write fights very well.
Okay, we've kind of basically covered game 1. Then there's several differences, and it's basically a whole new game.
Go ahead and explain game 2 for us.
Game number 2, the hotel game, once again, the island. This time around, things went a little bit differently, you could say. I won't spoil it for you right now. I'll walk you through it how we got to experience it. So we arrive at the island, we crash into the rocks again, and we wake up in the hotel. Once again, we're employees.
My favorite thing is the outfits that you guys have to wear for it.
Yeah, you want to explain the outfits real quick?
You guys have to wear, so it's khakis.
Cockies. Are you for real, Adrian?
Like tan khakis.
Yeah, khaki pants.
Yeah. Brown loafers, like those really fancy old school shoes.
Yeah.
And a hot pink t-shirt with a little logo on the chest. It's like a little polo shirt with a little logo of the sun, like smiling, and it says, "Happy Day."
So yeah, me and the party are decked out in our finest gear ever.
Just get some glasses and there you go.
Yeah, so we go into like the lobby of the hotel where we meet the man running the hotel, Sao Pang.
Yes, Sao Pang.
And he welcomes us, gives us like a little spiel. He's like, okay, so you guys have a couple different jobs you can do here at the hotel, and accompanying like theme park little thing. You can go work at like the dunk tanks, the haunted house, yada yada. Work some stalls at like the vendors market, because we mentioned Onion, and Onion's at the vendor market.
Onion's like this little guy that you meet. He is a very old man. He's unfortunately a homeless person, but he helps the party a lot by selling certain wares. Lore books, like items, mysterious keys, things that help the party along the way.
So we all choose different jobs. I think I just worked the haunted house most of the time, and I got to meet an NPC named Eclipse, who was like this stereotypically cool girl type stuff. Like, how would you describe her, actually? I'm really bad at describing women.
Probably not something to be proud of, Dylan.
I would describe Eclipse as more of like an alt girl type, like more alternative, grunge. Definitely preferred the werewolf aspect of the haunted house.
But anyways, I got to work as like one of those haunted house scarers along with Eclipse. And then a different day, because I know for a fact I worked.
Weirdly enough, I don't think you ever wore the king's outfit.
No, I wore.
Did someone?
I think I wore like the clown outfit because I can do a funny little clown
You did.
voice.
Did someone else wear the king's outfit though?
I don't
because
know.
it unlocked a piece of lore.
We probably didn't have anyone wear the king outfit.
Interesting. If you would have wore the king outfit, it would have brought you to the cavern.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like in a flashback type thing. It would have been really interesting.
That's wild. But anyways, a different day I worked the dunk tank where Timmy. That's just another bit we have. It's that singular.
Speaking of 5, Timmy has 5 letters in it, so.
No! All connects. But anyways, Timmy, little Timbo, he has like the left arm of a Greek god, and proceeds to dunk anyone who dares to sit in a dunk tank in front of him.
Did he do like 12 times to you? Because I was like, I'm going to roll a d20.
It might have been 12 hours of him doing that to me.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what it was.
You work a 12-hour shift. Just bang, bang, bang.
So remember what I said that one of my fears was dunk tanks?
This is why.
The Timmy is why. So that was fun.
He never misses.
He never misses.
He lands every shot. The only time he missed once was when he threw the ball at your face, but the glass was there to protect him.
Thank God. So anyways, as we're like working these day-to-day shifts, it seems as if there's less and less people on the island, less and less employees to help out.
You do get another employee with you,
yeah.
Donnie,
yeah. He shows up. He's like the assistant at the hotel.
Yeah. Under Salpang.
He kind of helps us out. He's Salpang's assistant guy. There was another scarer. There was like 2 or 3 other scarers that worked at the haunted house.
One of them was John, and I think another one was Bertold or something. I don't remember.
Something like that. Either way, they eventually just, there was only like 2 people that worked at the haunted house, I want to say, ever. Only ever 2 people. It was just me and Eclipse that had only worked at that haunted house.
Eventually,
ever. Yeah. And there was like less people attending the little tourist trap carnival we got going on. There was less people running the stands in general. Maybe we just weren't a very popular island, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's about. So then we go and... Actually, I should probably set this up so it actually makes more sense. During the night, people would wake up and they would hear some strange music.
Some singing, yeah.
Like in the middle of the night. And by the morning, they wouldn't remember hearing the music. And then you'd wake up and you'd realize, wow, this place is deserted. Wonder how that happened. It was about, because there was multiple sessions for this game. It was at the end of this one where, well, not even the end, but like at one point during this first session, I clocked onto what Adrian was planning. I was like, okay, so I'd like to help with this. And boy, howdy, I sold this shit.
Yeah.
Let's just say having dementia has its pluses.
Has its perks.
Yep. So then I would show up to work. There had only been like me and Eclipse there. I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's completely normal.
Yeah, there's totally no one else that ever worked here before.
Did Timmy ever get
He did not. He was one of the. He was the one that was safe.
Motherfucker! The one guy.
The one guy.
I think Onion at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's Onion?
Who's Onion?
But yeah, no, we kept going for a couple days until eventually I forget why we were out past the time we were supposed to be in.
Oh, you went with Eclipse specifically.
Right,
You went to the lighthouse.
I went to the lighthouse with Eclipse to just drink our problems away.
And kind of chill out. Just have a night to your guys' selves.
I know the rest of the party was out too for some reason.
They were out because Donnie had told them there's something you need to see.
Ah, right. I was completely oblivious this whole time for good reason.
You were like,
Right.
I'm just enjoying my life at the
I was enjoying my life. I was having fun. I was hanging out with my friend Eclipse. So we go to the lighthouse and we're drinking our problems away. All of a sudden, we hear this loud banging noise beneath us, and the party's just showed up to the lighthouse like frantic as shit. And they're screaming about God knows what. I can't hear them. I'm at the top of the lighthouse, so they're at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then some whack-ass shit breaks into the lighthouse. I don't know what that's about. Lighthouse gets pretty torn up. And then I think we attack the whack-ass shit. And then daylight breaks, and then it's just me and the party. I don't have any friends. I'm a very lonely guy. I don't know.
There was never anyone else to begin with.
No, I came out to the lighthouse to drink my sorrows away. Because I'm lonely as shit. I'm the only guy who works at the haunted house.
And I think you can reveal it to the audience now.
Audience, have you ever heard of a false Hydra before? Because boy howdy, when Adrian explained to me that it was in fact a false Hydra and I clocked it correctly, I was like, wow, I really like how you're doing this shit. Can I help? It doesn't help at all that I did in fact have dementia as my character. So like, it made perfect sense for me to not clock this shit. So then, when morning struck, when obviously the false Hydra was the thing attacking the lighthouse, when the false Hydra like ate Eclipse, when the morning rose, I had to sit there for a second as Dylan Wesley, and I'm like, huh. Wonder what I'm doing out here all by myself. This is fucking weird.
How did I get here?
This is sad. Why am I here all alone? I just came here last night.
God,
for no reason in particular.
The booze were great. But like, wow, there was no company. That's crazy. So we eventually kill the false Hydra, I believe.
And your memories are restored of the people when
God.
you do so. But first, you have to go into the caves underneath the lighthouse, and you find the false Hydra's lair. What else do you see down there?
There's a throne, and there's like a corpse on the throne with like a crown on it, and like a big ass fucking sword.
Yeah, so you guys find the body of a dead king. That's interesting. This is a part, by the way, Dylan had no idea this was fucking happening. None of the party members knew this was happening.
No, I clocked the false Hydra session 1. I didn't know there was a fucking corpse down there.
But what happened is they kill the false Hydra once they get down there, and it dies. It turns to ash slowly, decaying into nothing, disappearing as the curse is lifted of the memories. But as they do so, the corpse begins to move, and it looks to them and it says, "You killed my pet." And that's all it says before it begins to attack. And it brings us to the second phase of this boss fight, the Bygone Monarch. Everyone is like losing their shit because this thing is way more terrifying than the Hydra was.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm pretty sure you nearly died in that fight.
Look, when we get to game 3, that's when shit hits the fucking fan. I honestly couldn't tell you if I went down in the Bygone Monarch fight. I can tell you what happened in game 3.
Yeah.
We'll save that for another episode.
After you defeat the Bygone Monarch, you and Donnie and the party and all of them, you successfully managed to kill it, and it drops 2 rings, I believe. It was a black and a white ring. And somebody picks them up, and they're teleported to this. You don't know what happens as your character, because they just pick up this ring and shit.
Because it's not me who does it.
Yeah.
I think it was other people. Mormon and Elijah.
It was Mormon and Elijah. But Mormon and Elijah pick up these rings, and they're transported to this void, this empty black hole, this abyss. So picture everything like life itself, but monochrome. You know, black and white type stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little patch of grass surrounded by black water and a single tree growing in it that has the body of something breaking out within. They meet it, they talk to it, they get given a task, and they are sent back to present. Then you guys just leave because, you don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, we got on a boat and we headed out with Donnie because Donnie wanted to come with us. And as we're leaving on the boat, Donnie starts monologuing for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, knocks us all unconscious.
Another thing that you didn't pick up on somehow.
Yeah, I didn't clock Donnie was going to be the bad guy.
Donnie being Dolian.
I had other things I was worried about. I was riding the high of guessing the false Hydra off
Yeah.
rip. I don't have to be the only lore guy. We got more people.
Speaking of that, though, that is one thing I want to mention before we close this out, is that's something that changed majorly in the rerun and the book, is Donnie/Dolian's character.
Really?
Yes, because originally, Dolian was this corrupt, sadistic type person who just didn't want you guys to leave, wanted to keep you there for his own entertainment purposes, whatever. But in the actual canonized version, he's a lot more sympathetic. He just doesn't want to be alone. He doesn't want to harm any of you. And he doesn't want you guys to get hurt anyway. It's why he even bothered helping with the false Hydra thing, because if he was there, he knew that maybe you guys wouldn't go down at least or anything like that. He actually just wants to keep you guys around. That's all he wants to do.
Fair enough. But yeah, that is where we're going to leave it for now. We still have a lot to talk about. We have games 3 and what we did do of 4 in this final rerun.
And I might resume it again one day. Resume it from game 4, try to keep it going again. I might start game 4 over and go from there.
We could do that.
Because that would be easier, I think.
Yeah, we have a lot of other things besides the Ace Project actual games to cover.
We have the rest of the book whenever I add more to it. We have the videos, the ARG. We have Ezekiel's whole storyline, because we never even mentioned who that is.
There's a whole lot of more Ace content out there.
There's so much more to this story that it's like it truly is an entire universe. I think this universe is actually even bigger than my D&D campaign, despite that being a whole country.
Yeah, probably. We have run out of time for now to talk about that. We will come back eventually. Maybe we'll record it tomorrow. Maybe we'll record it next week. We need to come up with more topics, because this was off the cuff. We just decided this when I got here to be okay, we're going to talk about Ace Project. That's an hour, right? We can talk about that for an hour.
2 hours later.
Yeah, almost 2.5.
Yeah. I think this is a good topic to talk about. And also, we could talk about other campaigns too. Like choosing one campaign and talking about it for an entire episode. We could talk about the zombie for an entire episode.
Yeah, we definitely have an entire episode worth of stuff.
Because we've never gone into depth, I don't think, of the zombie game.
I think just for the sake of everything, because we kind of had to jump around censors a little bit the first time,
we should redo
We just
that
rehash
stuff.
everything.
Yeah. Definitely, because then we can give you guys the full story and such.
In chronological order and everything, because we were jumping around the timeline and everything. But yeah, we can talk about some of my stuff, some of your stuff, because we have things we've done in the last year that we haven't probably mentioned much of at all.
And if possible, I would love to, some point, rerun the campaign that we did.
The D&D one-shot?
Season 1, yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing that, yeah.
It would be a lot cooler, I think, and a lot more interesting without the time restraint, because then I could actually get stuff done.
Also, you could record the screen and show what's going on.
Oh yeah,
for the episode.
If I could figure that out at some point. Audience, thank you all for listening.
Yeah, thank you for sitting through what's probably going to be close to 2 hours worth of a podcast episode about some niche thing you've never heard of before.
Listen, though, it's gonna be worth it.
It's gonna be worth it.
Maybe this is what it takes to get people interested. Remember when we made the whole advertiser? That's a whole topic for another day.
Oh, God.
And that was an hour long, too.
That was an hour long ad, yeah.
And you didn't even we never even released it. Thank you for joining me for this episode. And that's gonna sign us off. So this has been ADHD Adventures, me and Dylan, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, for fuck's sake, it's Dylan and I, you son of a...